Jeff, you told us before the show that you have some serious concerns about Carson Wentz's injury.
Absolutely. Listen, this thing whole being indefinitely and not deciding on the surgery. I mean, the bottom line for the Colts is they really have 2 regular season games. They play NFC teams that don't matter. But Carson Wentz needs to be back by week 3. Like this whole season is predicated on Carson Wentz playing well for the Indianapolis Colts. They built a great football team around him. They're under the radar. This could be a true contender. But again, Carson Wentz has to be at the starting helm. You think week 3 they play the Titans, who's in the division. Then they have Baltimore and the Miami Dolphins. Both are going to be playoff caliber teams in the AFC. So they have got to get him back. They've got to get him playing well. And that has to be by week 3. So my concern is the whole indefinite issue, right, of how long can they get him back? They need to get him back sooner rather than later if they have any shot for this season to be a success.
You know who else has got concern over this? The Philadelphia Eagles. Because remember, they made that trade for Carson Wentz, and if Wentz takes at least 75% of those snaps, that second rounder that they were getting next year becomes a first rounder. So that could have big implications for them. Now, Sam Acho, how long do you share Jeff's concern over Wentz being out if he, in fact, no matter whether he takes the rehab or the surgical option?
Yeah, I don't share Jeff's concern. Here's the thing. Not very many people were coming in and thinking, check me out, Jeff. Not very many people came in and said Carson Wentz is going to be the hero. He's going to be the savior. Not many people had the Indianapolis Colts winning a lot of those first 5 games. So it's not like we're saying, oh, no, Carson Wentz, now all of a sudden a Super Bowl contender for these first 5, and now they're not. Now, if he's out for more than the first 5-6 weeks, then I'm concerned. But I will say this, Frank Reich, who coached me back in 2012 when I was with the Arizona Cardinals, he's even, he's steady, he's so even-keeled. We started off that year 4-0, and we lost a lot of games towards the end of the season, but he never faltered, never failed. We all remember back in 1990, he had one of the greatest comebacks in NFL history. So from a coaching perspective, I don't have as many concerns. I do understand this is a quarterback-centric league. I get that. And so if Carson Wentz is out for more than 6 weeks of the regular season, I'm concerned. But those first 4 or 5 weeks, a lot of us weren't picking Indy to win those games anyways.
Jeff, let me jump in here. Jeff, here's the other thing with Carson Wentz. Obviously, he had a rough time in Philadelphia, so he gets traded to Indy. And there is this aspect of trying to rebuild him, not just physically, but also mentally, also in his head with what was going on. So in that perspective, what do you think of this injury, and how does that affect the rebuilding of Carson Wentz mentally into a possible franchise quarterback?
No, it's a big deal, right? His career has been littered with injuries as well, right? So when you're talking about him, availability is the greatest ability in the NFL. Your quarterback's got to be there week in and week out for that consistency. And listen, I share Sam's, feelings about Frank. I played for Frank for a number of years, so I know him. I love him as a coach. I love Chris Ballard, the general manager. But here's the bottom line. Players win football games, and as good a coach as you have, you got to have the players. And they did bring Carson Wentz in with the mindset he was going to be a savior for this franchise. They understood he's got some issues. They would not have brought him in if they didn't think he was the guy. They would have ridden with Jacob Eason and said, hey, he's going to be our future. They did not say that. They brought him in so they could go win in the playoffs. They had a chance to win against Buffalo. They didn't succeed. When Phillip Rivers retired, they did bring Carson Wentz in to be the guy. That whole idea of the first 5 games, let me tell you something. They believe they can win all 5 of those games with Carson Wentz. They do not believe the same with Jacob Eason. Rest assured, whatever they say, that's the truth in that building.
And keep in mind, they have the toughest schedule in the NFL over those first 5 weeks. So that is going to make it really tough. Adam, I'll give you the last word on this. What are the Colts thinking about their chances with Carson Wentz at this point?
Well, here's the thing, Ryan. This has been a Super Bowl contending team that has not gotten Super Bowl type play from the quarterback. And it goes back to Andrew Luck retiring. Yeah. This was a team that was built to win the Super Bowl with Andrew Luck. It was built to compete with Carson Wentz this year, and this is the 3rd significant injury of Carson Wentz's NFL career, and that's problematic. And you hope he can be back, and they do think he'll be back at some point here, but this has got to be a blow for a team that won't have the quarterback at the very least going through drills with new teammates, getting used to each other this summer.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.